You know that feeling where even thinking about moving feels like trying to push a car with no engine? You're scrolling, the day is basically over. Your brain keeps saying, you should get up, you should start, you should fix your life, and your body just quietly replies, no. This video is for that version of you, not I'll do it later procrastination. I mean zero. Can't open the laptop, can't answer messages. Shower feels like a side quest in a game you already quit. And here's the first plot twist. You don't move because you're motivated. You move so your brain can relearn how to make motivation. So if you're waiting to feel like it before you act, that's the trap that's keeping you stuck. Stay with me because I'm going to give you a simple, brutally realistic framework for how to move when you're at absolute zero. No fake hype, no rise and grind nonsense, just nervous system rehab. You're not lazy. You're offline. Picture this. Your alarm goes off, you scroll, you think about everything you should do today, and your body hits that invisible wall, nope. You call it laziness. Your brain calls it protective mode. In psychology, there's a whole approach called behavioral activation. It was built for people who feel too low, too numb, too drained to do anything. One of its core ideas is simple and kind of rude. Action precedes motivation. If you wait to feel ready before you act, you'll wait forever. When life has been heavy, your brain quietly updates its code. Effort doesn't pay off. Trying is dangerous. Nothing changes anyway. So every task becomes suspicious. Even a tiny email feels like a threat. Your brain is not thinking, how do I grow? It's thinking, how don't I drown? That's why motivational quotes don't stick. They're talking to the thinking part of your brain. Your inaction is coming from the protective part. You're not broken, you're in energy saving mode. So if willpower isn't the answer, what is? Why your brain doesn't trust effort right now. Motivation isn't just feeling hyped. Biologically, a lot of it is about dopamine, not as a pleasure chemical, but as a prediction chemical. It tracks, if I move towards this thing, well, something good probably happened. When your last attempts at effort ended in burnout, rejection, or disappointment, your prediction system learns. Movement equals danger or disappointment. Better to stay still. At the same time, another theory called self-determination theory says we feel naturally motivated when three needs are met: autonomy, competence, and relatedness. If your life has been obligations you didn't really choose, tasks that make you feel like you're bad at everything, and doing it all alone, of course your motivation is dead. That's not a character flaw, that's a rational system response. So the job isn't be more disciplined, the job is rebuild your brain's trust and effort, slowly, gently, but consistently. And that doesn't start with a 5 a.m. routine, it starts with embarrassingly small moves. The 3% move, how to act at absolute zero. Let's build you a protocol you can use on the days where you feel like a potato with Wi-Fi. We'll call it the 3% move. Not 100%, not a glow up, just 3% more alive than the couch version of you. Step 1, lower the bar until it's not scary. When you're at zero, your brain treats everything as a boss fight. So we cheat. You don't ask, what's the right thing to do? You ask, what's the smallest, dumbest version of this that I'm physically capable of doing? Examples: not clean the room, put one shirt in the hamper. Not write for an hour, open the doc and type one sentence. Not work out, stand up, walk to the door, touch it, sit back down. This feels pointless, and that's the point. Behavioral activation studies show that just engaging in tiny, meaningful actions can start to lift mood and restart reward pathways over time. You're not proving you're productive. You're proving to your brain movement is possible. Effort doesn't kill us. You're rehabbing the move muscle. Step 2, make it physical and forward. When you're stuck in your head, your thoughts feel like quicksand. So your first move shouldn't be purely mental, like plan your life or journal your trauma. That's advanced mode. At zero, prioritize physical forward movement. Walk to the sink and drink a glass of water. Open the blinds. Stand outside your front door for 30 seconds. Stand up while you check your phone instead of lying down. Research on energy and productivity keeps pointing to the same thing. Energy management beats time management. Moving your body, even briefly, shifts your state more than staring at a to-do list. You're sending a signal.
We're not frozen. We're allowed to move forward even a little. Step 3, close the loop and call it a win. Your brain loves completed loops. Not worked for 3 hours complete, just I did the thing I said I'd do. After your 3% move, mark it somehow. Put a tiny dot on a calendar. Drop a note in your phone. Today's 3% move took a 2-minute walk. Tell one safe person, yo, I finally answered that one email. In self-determination theory terms, you're feeding competence, the feeling of I can do things. Even tiny wins start to rebuild that. You're not building a productivity streak, you're rebuilding an identity. I'm the kind of person who moves even a little, even when I feel nothing. And that identity shift is what makes bigger moves possible later.
What about big goals and fixing my life? Here's where people sabotage themselves. They use these tiny moves for one day, then the next morning they're like, cool, now I'll wake up at 5, change my diet, clean my whole room, start a side hustle, and heal my childhood. That's just perfectionism in a productivity costume. For a while, your only job is don't upgrade the plan, repeat the 3% move. Some days, you'll overshoot. You'll do the tiny thing and a bit more. That's great, but the win condition stays the same. Did you do some tiny, chosen move that future you would be glad you did? If yes, you pass the day. Over weeks, this does a few quiet things. Your nervous system stops treating effort as a threat. Your brain starts predicting when I move, good stuff might happen. Motivation shows up not as fireworks, but as a gentle, hey, we could probably do a bit more. And one day, out of nowhere, you realize you didn't get motivated. You just became a person who moves before they feel like it.
When you're really at rock bottom, quick but important note. If your zero motivation comes with feeling hopeless every day, losing interest in everything, changes in sleep, appetite, or thoughts of self-harm, that isn't laziness. That can be clinical depression, and tiny habits alone are not the full answer. That's where reaching out to a therapist, doctor, or helpline becomes part of the move, not a sign of failure. Behavioral activation, meds, support, these are tools, not moral judgments. You're allowed help. You were never meant to debug your brain alone. So let's go back to you, lying there, staring at your screen, feeling like a failure for not starting. Today, your job is not to fix your entire life. Your job is pick one 3% move, something laughably small, make it physical if you can, stand, walk, open, touch, move, close the loop and mark it, write it, tick it, tell someone, that's it. On your worst days, that is not you being weak. That is you in rehab, retraining a brain that forgot effort can be safe. In the comments, drop this. My 3% move today is not your dream life, not your 5-year plan, just the smallest honest move you're willing to make in the next hour. That tiny move is how motivation comes back, not as a lightning strike, but as an echo of impact that grows every time you choose to move before you feel ready.